All right, well, here we go.
Okay. Wait.
No. Okay, Mark, we want this for the real. Okay.
Okay.
All right, ready? Hello, everybody.
But you started. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are so excited. This is our second episode. We got about 300 subscribers after our first episode, so we are so excited.
We're growing.
Yay!
Our goal is to have 1,000 followers by the end of the year, so hit that subscribe button. Feels real.
Yeah.
This episode, we want to talk about my favorite love story, how Mariah and I met.
Yes, and of course we cannot talk about how we met without going back in time and talking about how we even ended up in the same place at the same time. And one thing that I really want to say is that if you are meant to be with someone, it will find a way. There's going to be so many factors that come into play and you have no idea, and it's just setting you up for being with whoever you're supposed to be with.
You don't know how, you don't know why, you don't know when, but it's going to happen.
Yes. So, Peter, how did you end up on Disney on Ice? Let's celebrate.
Well, it's a long and sad story, but it does have a magical ending. I was a competitive ice dancer for a number of years. I skated for Poland, I skated for Canada, and my very last competition, second to last competition, it was the Olympic qualifier for Sochi, Russia. And unfortunately, my partner and I, we missed the qualifying position by less than half a point. And that really shook us up a little bit. And going into the upcoming season, my partner just up and left unexpectedly. And I was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Where do I go? What do I do next? And I went home for a little bit, sulked, I put my resume out there. I got some feelers. I applied for both Disney on Ice and Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. Royal Caribbean came back right away and said that I just wasn't ready yet. And it's true, because I was an ice dancer. I had no pair lifting experience up above my head. It was always at the shoulder. And then not even a week later, I got hired by Disney on Ice. And the rest is history. And so, Mariah, what brought you to Disney on Ice? Let's celebrate.
Well, my story is a little bit different. I was already working for Disney, and I had been for about 5 years. I was a break worker on that show. And so a break worker, if you don't know what that is just somebody who comes in and they fill in here and there when their show is not operating. So I was doing break work, essentially, and I honestly left the show just before Peter got there. And when I left, I was a little bit of a bitter Betty because I had gotten a unprofessional conduct fine.
She was misbehaving.
I was misbehaving. It's not as bad as you might think. Honestly, on some shows, they do find you. And it's like for little things. It's like, you don't pick up your costume on time, $5. You're late to a number, $10.
It's like that meme, straight to jail. You speed, straight to jail.
So yeah, I got fined, and so I was bitter. I was like, I don't need to be subjected to such abuse.
Absolutely not.
And so I went back to my show, and when I went back to my show, we were in Asia, and I had a group of friends going to Bali. And so because I had these friends going to Bali, I was considering not doing the break work and just going to Bali with my friends because I just didn't feel like I really wanted to go back.
I would. I've never been to Bali.
I know, right? Like, who wouldn't want to go to Bali? But what kept me, keeping the break work basically was I had another group of friends, and I had a group of good friends on both shows that were leaving the show. So I decided, okay, well, I need to go back for my friends. So I did.
Little does she know.
Little did I know. There was a surprise waiting
I was
for me.
waiting, and I didn't even know it.
I was like, hey.
And so that brings us to the day that Mariah and I met for the very first time in beautiful, sunny Pensacola Beach, Florida.
Cue the love sound effects.
I remember Mariah sitting out by the pool with some friends. She was in a hot little number with body jewelry.
Yeah, I was looking cute.
She was fire. She was fire. And then here's me walking up in like a bucket hat, some shorts, some beverages in hand, and I walk up to her and I'm like, "Hey, my name's Peter." A little more.
It was
this
more
is
like,
clean. It was
"Hey!"
more, yeah, like in her face. In
I
her
was like,
face.
what the heck?
I came on a little strong, but look where it got me. Okay, so boys, ladies, shoot your shot. Okay.
Shoot your shot. So then after we met, nothing happened for like a couple weeks. We didn't talk to each other. There was nothing. It was just kind of like, we were we were coworkers. We had one number together. I don't even think we were flirting with each other. Were you flirting with me?
I don't think so.
But then, closing night party.
Closing night is like at the end of the show, and at this point, when we were in Pensacola Beach, that was our final city.
It's like the last week, but it's at the beginning of the last week.
Mm-hmm.
So usually like a Monday, Tuesday, you have to have a day off after because probably going to be hanging.
Woo.
So at that party, that is when Peter and I started talking to each other for the first time. Like we actually sat down.
Yeah, really in-depth conversation. We
Yes.
got to know each other for sure.
Yeah, really. And once we started talking, like we talked all night. Like we were together for the whole rest of the night. But it took us a while. Like it took us a little push, to get us to have that conversation. And nobody was pushing us together. We just, I don't know. Out of nowhere. Yeah.
Our hands just kind of fell into place. Quick story there. Actually, one night after that closing night, we still had like a night or two in that area. And I took Mariah out to CVS. We got Pop-Tarts. We got Pringles. We got some Gatorades, Arizona iced tea. Yeah. On the way there, I was so sly, you guys. I was so sly. Basically, like we were walking, right? And we were just like, you know how you like bump hands and just see, like try to feel like what are they thinking, No. What did I do? I slipped in like this. And the hands met. They meshed so well. That's when I knew. I think I'm going to say it. That's when I knew.
I don't think you did.
Okay. I didn't. But I remembered this moment right here.
I do too. It was like so perfect. It was so smooth. I still think about it.
Yeah.
And it felt so comfortable. That's what I think about it. It was so comfortable. So after a few days together, the show was closing, so it ended. And we both went home.
Our separate ways.
I was devastated. But
I was indifferent.
Yeah. I don't think you really cared. But yeah, so we went our separate ways. I'm from California and Peter is from
Toronto.
Yeah, so we didn't know if we were ever going to see each other again.
Yeah.
And so we were really bummed out about that, or I was. And I knew that my show was going to New Zealand and Australia for at least the next few months.
My show, the 30, where we were together, it was continuing on for one more city, South Africa.
Yeah, so he got to go to South Africa for a couple months.
During Canadian summer, but actually their winter, so it was quite cold.
Yeah, so we were like kind of talking during this time. We started out slow, of course. We weren't talking all the time, but eventually we did start talking all the time. I really think this is where we connected on a level that was, more emotional. And we had that connection there where we realized that we enjoyed being on the phone with one another and that we had something. So, because I'm me, I requested to be on his show and I didn't tell him. I will say,
stalker!
I will say it was the smartest career move for me at the time.
It was. Because again, look where it got us.
It was. And honestly, it was the only show left that had a principal role for me. And so it made sense. More so than just wanting to be with Peter. But I did it for both reasons.
Imagine my surprise when I didn't even know that was the full reason. She just kind of showed up at the show.
No, I told him before I got there.
She told me before.
Yeah,
but
knew.
I didn't know the reasoning. Like, I didn't know that was, like, that's how she did it until, like, a couple months down the road. when we were on the show together.
Yeah, it was a little bit of psycho, but but I did it.
But I love you for it.
Yeah.
And so when we get there together in September for the show, it doesn't even take me all but 3 to 4 weeks. And October is there, Canadian Thanksgiving. I asked Mariah to be my girlfriend, officially.
I was nervous when he asked me to. I thought the way he did it was like,
I paused for a dramatic effect. That's what happened. I was like, Mariah.
But then you think it's like, oh no.
Oh no.
What is he gonna say? You know, but he was asking me to be his girlfriend. But the way he paused, it scared me, I will say.
Well, I needed to get the words out. I was nervous.
Yes.
I knew what I wanted to say. But,
Well, after just those, you know, like you asked me to be your girlfriend in October, come January, they say, oh, the show's closing.
That's it.
And so we had to make a decision if we wanted to be together long term after really only being in a relationship for about 3 months.
And keep in mind, we were only dating up until that point. We've never skated together. We never even entertained the thought or idea of skating together.
I didn't want to skate together. It was never my
Me neither.
intention to have us become a team. And because they closed the show, that is what pushed us into becoming a team. Because when you're a professional skater, one of the easiest ways to stay together with your partner is to become a team. Because then you're hired on the same contract. So I remember that day clear as day. They told us the show was changing. We were sitting on the edge of the bed and I said to Peter, what if we try to skate together? And he was open to it. I fully expected him to be like, no, that's a terrible idea, but he was open to it.
I jumped at the opportunity because keep in mind, I applied for both Royal Caribbean and Disney. I always wanted to do Royal Caribbean in the first place, pair skating specifically, lifting above the head. And yeah, when Mariah made that idea, that light bulb moment, you know, I could not hold myself back. We jumped on it.
Well, and when I said it, our best bet was to try to apply for ships. So, you know, I knew that if we were going to skate together, because on ships, there is no character-based work. It's a show that you're not limited to basically the way that you look like in order to be casted for something. So I knew that we would have more opportunity there and the possibility of staying together. So that was the whole reason why we even started skating together.
Once we made the decision to skate together as a team, there was no going back. And we had a lot of work to do. Learning, soul searching, things like this. Were we ready for it all? No, but that was the part of the adventure.
Yeah, and I think it was very telling of our relationship, you know, to be faced with a challenge and to be able to overcome it, and to be able to overcome multiple challenges because neither of us really knew Adagio, and we weren't able to just like hop in the team and submit a video. There was a lot of work that had to go into getting ready to get ready. And so it was very telling of what we had, and we were very proud, and we are very proud of everything that we were able to accomplish because of this simple fact that we were already in a relationship, but our relationship led us to even more success.
And could you believe that there were so many naysayers when they saw us on the ice training together? Like, this will never work. I mean, like, our heights, they're pretty comparable. Mariah's got long legs, you know. At the time, I didn't have much strength. And yeah, there were a lot of non-believers out there. And, you know, I keep bringing it up, but look where we are now, you know?
Yeah, and I just want to say to anybody that is watching that if you set your mind to something, you can achieve it. And if you are in a relationship or if you're looking to be in a relationship, just know that there's going to be so many things that are working for you when it's right. And so I feel like for us, it felt, you know, as things were happening, as the show closed, as little things happened throughout that first year of us being together, it felt like they were things that were trying to tear us apart. But ultimately, they just pushed us closer together. Our bond became stronger. And we really, truly realized what we had to offer. Not only to the world, you know, our performing, but to one another.
That's beautiful. I think what I'm most grateful for in that whole path to where it got us is the work ethic and the support system that both of us created together, relying on one another, trusting one another.
Trust is huge. It is a huge part of our relationship and it's a part of our foundation. So I definitely highly recommend that in all relationships. And that brings us to the end. Yeah. We'll be back. We just wanted to share with you guys a little bit more of our story and like a little bit more in detail how we met. And thank you. Thank you
so
for
much.
watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. Let us know what you want us to talk about more.
Yes, please.
And make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Like and subscribe. We're YouTubers, okay? Come on now.
Are we doing it right?
I hope so.